Hey everybody, my name is Tyler Jackson Price. I was just interviewed by Keith Andrew on the Keith Andrew Network, and I have to say, one of the best interviews I've ever done. This guy is strong, he is courageous, and he really shows that whatever you have as a disability or as something that you might think you're not good enough or you can't do it, this guy blocks all that. He tears all those walls down. So make sure you guys listen, subscribe, like, check his channel out, contact this guy. He has an awesome story, great person to talk to, and he really shows the world what we need more of. So, great guy. Stay tuned, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the Keith Andrew Network. It's episode 613. I'm here with a good friend, Tyler Jackson. I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Hey, thank you for having me. I greatly appreciate it. I'm excited.
No, the honor's all mine. For people who want to know what my talk show is about, the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities to never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be. And to prove to them is to amount to something. So hashtag break the labels. So that being said, half hour, 33 minutes of your time. It's PG-13. And you can say anything you want, that's completely up to you. But the first thing I do want to start off is to our fans, make sure to go to youtube.com and go to like and subscribe to the Keith Andrew Network YouTube channel. Now with that being said, first question, I noticed that you are a professional voiceover actor and you are a professional stand-up comedian.
Yes. Nowadays, I do more of the voice acting. I really haven't done any comedy shows in a couple years, but I started off doing stand-up for about 6 years, and that really propelled me to do voiceover, got me the curiosity, and it really taught me how to, manage the crowd, just be yourself, be more creative, and just really explore your own voice. You got to know who you are, whether it's on stage, behind a microphone. But, you really have to know who you are, who you want to be. And the cool thing about being a voice actor is that you can really do anything. You can do movie trailers. You can do audiobooks. You can do kids' literature. You can do comic books. You can do really anything, commercials, promotional work. So at any given time, you can be asked to voice 3 or 4 people, 3 or 4 animals, 3 or 4, just different types of things in one voiceover. So it really gives you that freedom, that creativity to just be whoever you want. And I love it. I just love what I do, and I really enjoy the people that I work with.
No, absolutely. You have to enjoy what you do. If you don't, you're in the wrong type of work, wrong type of business.
Absolutely. You gotta have your heart in it, because if you don't have your heart in it, you can definitely hear if someone's not happy with what they're doing. But if they love it and they are just enthralled with it, I mean, it just comes out in their work, and we all see that.
No, absolutely. Now, the next question I was going to ask you is, how many years have you been a professional voiceover actor?
4 going on 5 years. It's been a long road, and I'm still learning. I'm still starting out. I don't know everything, and the great thing also about voice acting is that you're always learning and willing to accept feedback from fellow voice actors. I mean, there's people that have been in this a lot longer than I have, that have done a lot more than I have, but at the same time, those people that take the time to help you out, to give you some tips and tricks of what has helped them, that's what I really, really love. I've noticed that in the entertainment industry, it's a lot of, I have this and you can't have it. but that doesn't make the entertainment industry grow. What makes it grow is the networking, is the connections, it's the, hey, I'll help you, you help me. Let's make something magical. Let's make this project come to life. That's what I enjoy of it. So in my years of doing this, again, I'm not, the all-knowing voiceover whiz. There are times where I have auditions and I don't get them. There are times where I'm speaking with the client and they're like, you know what, your voice is good on your demo, but it's not what we want. We thought it was, this, but it's just not. We're not feeling it. You can't take it personal. I mean, it's every job has a voice that fits. So if you take it personal, you'll never make it in this industry. But you just have to go in there going, look, this is me. This is my voice. I'm going to try my best. And if they love it, great. If they don't, hey, at least I got to meet them. And that's it. You just got to keep on moving. But yeah, in my 5 years, I've had a great time doing this. I really, really love it.
No, I can relate. I've been doing this for 6.5 years, and I want to do this to the day I die. I'm very passionate about this, and I'm not kissing people's asses or anything. I'm being very serious. I found something I'm very passionate about. But the,
Absolutely.
but the next question I was going to ask you is, now I try to do every show a little different, but this one I'll try to cater to more of the disabilities. One, have you ever worked with people with disabilities? And are you willing to work with people with disabilities? Apparently you're working with me, so I guess you are.
Well, I mean, absolutely. I just love working with people, and I actually started off my voiceover career doing narration books for Learning Ally, and we do audiobooks for children with reading and learning disabilities. So it can be blindness, ADHD. Um, Again, I apologize. There's a company called Learning Ally, and yeah, we do audiobooks for children with reading and learning disabilities. So it gives them a chance to learn on an educational level that they can excel, that we give them a place that they feel and know that they can do it. A lot of times when you do voiceover work, people think it's just, movies like In a Time When, or, In a Land Far, Far Away, that movie voice. Any voice can fit anything. So I started off getting in contact with Michael Kinsey, which he's one of the guys that work with Learning Ally. And I simply just reached out to him. I said, hey, I'm new in this voice acting industry. I saw your company. I would love to lend my voice and really help out, kids. Helping people is something that I love to do. And he really took me in. I mean, he said, we're gonna get you work. You're gonna be helping kids out. And the first book I worked on was called Those Shoes, and it was about a little boy, and he just bought a pair of brand new shoes, and his grandmother bought him the shoes, and it's just his journey with this favorite pair of shoes. And the cool thing about that was when that was over, he said, hey, it's distributed all over the United States, so kids can purchase this book or read it in school, and your voice is going to be the one heard. So when you complete a project like that, and because of technology, makes everything so much easier. The fact that not only my voice, but everyone's voice through that company and similar companies, we can impact a child. So while I'm sleeping at night, I can rest assured that there's a kid out there who might hesitate on reading, or might see his friends read and he can't do it as well. Just the fact that if he reads my book and he can understand it and has a great time and goes, wow, I'm doing what my friends can do. I'm doing what my family can do. At that young age, when you set that, set that structure, when you set that foundation of learning and confidence, that can only grow as the child gets older. And, again, I just love that feeling that a simple thing like reading a book and recording it and sending it over to this company, that they can use that to really use as a powerful tool to help kids that really need it, and to show others that, hey, the world is not just about me, me, me. It's about others also.
No, I agree. And now that's the same thing for my show too. I'm showing you, it's not about okay. It is. I'm turning myself into an example, so it's kind of about me. But I'm also turning myself into an example. If I can do it, you can do it too. And there's absolutely no reason why you have to listen to people tear you down and say you can't do this and you can't do that. Hell, I was on the spectrum of being retarded. I read and learn at a 5th grade level. But look at what I have accomplished in 6.5 years. So if I can do it, that should be a good enough example for people out there.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, you are a prime example of what the stereotypical, society thinks about someone else. You're breaking that mold. And again, I hope people that watch this show, that hear you, that research you and read your story, that can change their life. Maybe break some change off of them, break some chains off of people in their circle to really show that look, your mindset is what imprisons you. It's not your physical attributes. It's not your mental attributes. It's not your environment. It's your mindset. So if your mindset, if you can break that, you can do anything. I really truly believe that.
No, absolutely. Now, my next question I was going to ask you is for people with disabilities who want to be a voiceover actor just like you, what would your words of wisdom or what would your advice be for them?
Don't be afraid and go for it. I say that because fear is a big part, unfortunately, of anything we do. So just because someone, like you said, learning on a 5th grade and speaking on a 5th grade level, sometimes that might tell someone, look, I can't do this. The word I can't. But the great thing about voice acting is that there's a voice for everything. That high-pitched, squeaky kid voice can fit a toy. That deep, growly, man, muscular voice, I guess you could say, would fit a beer commercial. Or, someone who might have a lisp might be good for a company. That might be something they're looking for. So you just have to find where you're needed. You have to find your niche. So you don't have to be this big, brawly movie star voice or this well-known SpongeBob and Disney Mickey Mouse type of voice. Just be yourself, and you fit everywhere, and you can fit anywhere. Just go for it. Google, research, connect, use social media, ask questions, and don't be afraid to ask, hey, can I work with you? Do you have work for me? Can I assist you in any way? Don't be afraid, because just because you ask doesn't mean it's always going to be a no. That yes can be the greatest yes, and that can really propel you in your future wherever you decide to go.
And even if you say they say no, use that as motivation. Say, I'm going to prove you wrong.
Yep, absolutely. Every audition that I don't get, or every job that they say, your voice doesn't fit, I'm humble. I go, okay, thank you guys for the opportunity. If anything else comes up in the future that fits my voice, please let me know. But mentally, I go, y'all messed up. You missed out on my uniqueness, on my character, on my personality. That's their loss. But, I'll say this. Sometimes you don't get that audition. But later, they go, wow, Tyler, you didn't get that thing a couple months ago, but we had something that you do fit, that, we were waiting for your voice to pop up for this thing. So, again, a no now doesn't mean it's a no later. It could be a no now and an absolute later.
No, absolutely. And now the next question I was going to ask you, something, I actually forgot what it was. So I'm going to go to my next question. How many years have you been a professional stand-up comedian?
6 years. 6 years. So I worked at Disney at the Tower of Terror. So I was one of the creepy bellhops, that scare you and make the elevator drop and everything. So, that role at Disney really allowed me to be in character while I worked. And it was one of the most popular rides in Disney. So there was heavy traffic, all day long at the ride, interacting with guests and people from all over the world, different walks of life. And I really could be I could be a goofy bellhop. I could be a scary bellhop. I could be, a bellhop that didn't talk at all. I mean, I could be so many roles. And that really made me think like, wow, I enjoy acting at work. What if I did this as a job? Or what if I did this for fun? So I started working in Disney in 2006, started writing with some friends about 2007, and we started performing at the end of 2007 and went all the way to about 2013. Um, and I did a couple, big shows, some big competitions in Tampa, Lakeland. Even did some shows, Northern Florida, here in Orlando, also the Improv. I was on America's Got Talent for 2 seasons. I didn't make it to the TV round, but I was on there. And I have a comedy special that I actually won that's on Roku and Amazon Prime. So I've done some cool things, met some really cool people, and it really set the ground for where I am right now. Again, it taught me who I am, who I want to be, how to be comfortable, and how to just have freedom in the creativity that I can provide for someone. It really set me loose. And once I felt that freedom, I never looked back.
No, absolutely. And a similar question I'll ask you before is how would someone with a disability or disabilities break into the entertainment world and common stand up? Because there are stand up comedians who have disabilities.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's a good question because there are, like you said, there are some comics that have disabilities, but the thing is, they use it as a strength, and that's the true key. If you use it as a strength, and if you use it to empower yourself, and you show that confidence, that's what people see. People can tell when you're on stage if you don't know what you're doing. People can tell if you're scared. People can tell if you're nervous, if the crowd's reacting in a way that you're not prepared for. They can read it. They can smell blood. But when they see somebody that might have a physical or a mental disability or something that hinders them, that they might not be familiar with, at first they're kind of like, okay, can I laugh? Am I able to laugh? Is this funny? Like, am I a jerk if I, clap if he says a joke? It sometimes it's hard, but if the comic portrays that strength and that confidence and turns the disability into a strength and into just a funny moment where everyone can relate, that's true comedy. When you can take a hindrance or a darkness or a sad or depressing time or anger and you turn it into light and you turn it into laughter, you turn it into something that we can all feel at the same time with you. That's the true meaning of comedy. Make something that people can feel, that they can relate to you. So if someone's wanting to break into the industry and they have a physical or mental disability or handicap or whatever it is, just do it. And as long as you show confidence in yourself and you relate what you're going through and you just make a funny story or you just say it in a weird way, I'm telling you, people can do it, and people will laugh, and people will respect the fact that you're on stage doing what you do.
No, absolutely. Now, my next question I was going to ask you is, what was your first big break? And you mentioned, like we were talking about, with stand-up, being a stand-up professional to doing a professional voiceover. What was, for 2 questions, but the first one is for voiceover. What was your very first break and said, you know what, I got something here?
Wow, my first big break. Well, I would say I love sports. So I'm originally from Philadelphia, but I live here in Orlando. So I'm a true diehard Philadelphia Eagles fan. Like, I bleed green. That's my team till the day I die. So one day, I think this was last year, I believe. I work with a company, and they send over voiceover spots from companies who request voices. So I guess they pitched my voice, they picked me, and I ended up getting the job for ESPN, and it was an ESPN radio station in California. So it was a spot for the Quigley Cup, which is it's a junior like baseball tournament. And I was so hyped when I saw client name ESPN. I was like, "Oh, this was the coolest thing," because I watch ESPN and I always wanted to voice something for ESPN. So that was like a big thing for me. It might have been small for someone else, but for me as a sports fan, that was definitely the coolest thing. But I would say another thing, voiceover wise, that really made me, kind of like jump out of my seat and, um, you know, really everything. Because I feel like I haven't had my big break yet, and I'm not gonna, sit here and puff my chest out and say I made it and everything. I can say I'm still searching for that big, huge break where I can, quit my regular job and use this to support my family 100%. Income is great, but I would love to do this full time. It's hard to do, but I'd say every little job I get, it's a different facet. It's a different cool thing. It's something um, that I can say I did this time that I didn't do before. So really from working with audiobooks to learning Ally, which was awesome, helping kids. I see those as little breaks, but I'm still searching for my big break.
Now, how can you relate to that to your second one to voice? Actually, that was your voice. How can you reverse that now, answering the question to your stand-up comedian career? What was your very first break?
My very first break was. Hang on one second. I'm just gonna move over here 1 second here. My very first break in stand up was, I would say, this is going to sound cliche, but I would say that my very first break was my first show. Uh, just getting up there and allowing myself to make a fool out of myself and just being in front of a strange crowd. That was my first break. That was when I knew that I could really make it, that I could do this, maybe not for a living, but I would love to see where it goes. So just breaking through that first show, that was a big moment for me. But later on, when I did the show for Matty G TV, which is a channel on the Roku, and they partner with Amazon Prime, it was a competition in Pennsylvania. I was up against three other comics. They were great comics, and I was nervous because I wasn't sure if the crowd was going to feel me, if the other comics were going to do awesome, and I was just going to come in and be like the sloppy fourth guy who, everyone's made their mind up. They know who won, but I don't know if you know this, but I don't curse in my voice acting roles or in my comedy. I used to. I used to just say whatever I wanted, and I used to say some crazy stuff. I look back and I'm like, I don't know if I like that. But when I had children, I just thought to myself, look, if I want them, and if they wanted to follow in my footsteps, and if they want to look at what Daddy has done, do I really want them to see and hear some of the things I've said about people or myself or situations in my life? And I always say that everyone has a right to say what they want, and everyone has a right to do what they want with their own career, entertainment wise. I don't care. But there's always a way to do it. So I don't curse in my stand up. So when I did this particular show for Matty GTV, and it was the competition, everyone was cursing, everyone was saying some kind of like, ooh, like, oh, why did he say that? Like, oh my gosh. Like it was uncomfortable. But when I went up there and I just kind of, talked about my family. I didn't talk about I not drugs per se, but as a dad, just my thoughts on drugs and stuff like that, having kids. But yeah, some of the things I talked about, I just related to my family, about being a dad, stuff like that. And I was comfortable with what I was saying. I didn't have to use any vulgarity or anything like that. And I won the competition. Like I won it, and people were like, "Wow, Tyler, you did it in a cleaner way, and we didn't think you could do it." So after that, knowing that I could win, and after I was on a major network and things like that, that was really cool. That was when I was like, I'm on TV. This is pretty nice. I'm gonna head to America's Got Talent, and that was an experience also. like I said, I didn't make it to the TV round, but I can say I was on there. I did my thing. I did some impressions and some stand up. So, I gave it a shot, and that's all you can do. You just give it a shot, take a deep breath, and just go for it.
No, absolutely. Now we're going to take a quick mouse break. When we come back, I'm going to ask you about some of your impressions and about social media as well.
Gotcha. Sounds good.
Hi, I'm Marissa Joy Davis.
This is Michelle Wong.
And I'm Nancy Rose.
My name is Brandy Hunt. And
hello, my name is Raven Nguyen.
Hi there. My name is Giovanna Vidal.
Hi, I'm Monica Thomas.
Hi, I'm Paisley Blackburn.
I'm Ashley Burgess.
Hi, my name is Jeanette Abney.
Hi, I'm Sharon Spank.
Hey, this is Samantha Moore.
Hi, I'm Melody Jones.
Hi, my name is Becky Yee.
Hi, you're watching the Keith Andrew Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Keith Andrew Network. It is episode 613. Here's a good friend, Tyler Jackson. Tyler Jackson, I just want to say thank you for part of my disability. I'm here with Tyler Jackson, and it's a real honor to have you back with us. Now, with that being said, I do have a couple questions for you off the air. We can always talk about that. The first question I was going to ask you is, the more I was listening to you speak, you're more like bouncing around and everything, and like, why can't I be like that? So for people who feel self-conscious, how can they break out of that shell and say, I'm just going to be who I am. I'm going to be spontaneous and have fun. But, just two people have two personalities. This is my family side, and this is when I'm out in the open, that's who I am. But how can you just break it open so you're just both sides?
Well, I tell people, and I used to think like this starting out, like I wanted to be like so-and-so. I see their success on stage. I see their success, doing voiceovers. They're booking commercials, and they're booking cartoons, and they're performing all over the country, and they're getting paid. That's what I want. I want to be like them. But you got to realize that what's on the outside is not everything. I'm not perfect. I have my struggles every day, being a father, being a husband, a lot of things in my past, I've had difficulties coming to grips with, and I've done a lot of things I regret. And I've learned that when you want, I'm so sorry. When you want to be like someone else, you don't know the struggle, and you don't know the pain, you don't know the frustration, and you don't know how many times that even myself, I'm like, I'm going to give up. Like voice acting, I haven't gotten booked for a job in a long time. I'm doing all I can. I'm emailing, I'm texting, I'm calling, I'm researching, I'm practicing, I'm putting demos up, I'm fixing my LinkedIn profile, I'm putting stuff on SoundCloud and websites, and nothing's coming back to me. Like, what's wrong with me? But you got to get out of that mindset. Again, it's your mind can either make you the greatest for yourself or make you the weakest for yourself. So if someone's looking at you and going, man, I want to be like him, you got to be yourself first.
Yeah.
Second, third, fourth, fifth, first and foremost, you got to be yourself first. You can't be anybody else. But again, if you network and just show people that you're passionate, show people that you love to help people, and just always put yourself out there. Always be willing to work with someone. Always be willing to email, to call, even though that's old school. Be willing to call those places, cold call places, and just look at yourself in the mirror and just say, what do you want to do? What are 10 great things that I love about myself? And then what are 10 things that I can fix about myself? But if you got to have that conversation with you first before you have it with someone else. And once you discover that, and once you kind of have those light bulbs go off of what you're great at, what you can fix, what your passions are, what your dreams are, what your bucket list is, then you can start paving that path onto, I want what they have. How can I get what you have? Just ask, just call, communicate, form partnerships, form friendships. We're all here to help each other. But, again, you shouldn't want to be like anyone else. You should be yourself. But, you got to find who you are first.
No, I agree with you 100%. It's like, I was interviewed recently, and I'm like, yeah, I want to be like Bill Raleigh, be all professional, but I also want to be Bill Maher, make jokes and have fun, be spontaneous. And I feel like, when I'm out by myself, I can be myself, but when I'm home, I have to, put myself in a bubble and be like, oh, I can't act like that, or I can't act like this. So I'm just trying to find a center where I can just be free and just do whatever.
I mean, you'll find it. You'll find it. I mean, the first step is you already know what you want. So already that's done. You can check that off. Now you just got to find where your comfort zone is and where you just feel like you can be the best you. If it's a mix of the two, you just got to find the mix of the two. It might not happen today or tomorrow. It might be a year from now. We all wake up and go, wow, this is what I want to do. Or I don't want to be a voice actor anymore. I want to be a police officer. Or, I want to get back into stand-up. It doesn't happen overnight, but at least you know what you want to be, and you just got to find it. So just be comfortable, man. Whatever skin you're in, just be comfortable, embrace it, know that people love it, and you have something to offer the world. And man, I'm telling you, they want it, but you definitely have something to offer. Just never think that you or yourself, anyone else, that we're not good enough. No, you are good enough. You just gotta find what you love. That's it.
No, absolutely. Now, what's the last couple questions before I pass it over to you? Is can you give us some voiceover examples that you do, and also social media with everything that you accomplish in your life? Do you think Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, do you think all those dictate if people should work with you or should give you acting roles, or how do you feel about that?
Okay, I will. I'll say the best for last. I'll do the impressions last. But the social media question, that is a great question. It's funny you say that because I was just talking to a friend of mine about this the other day. For a long time, seeing everyone else's success around you, I almost made that dictate who I was as a person, not as a voice actor, not as a previous comedian, as a person. That's a dangerous thing. When you start comparing yourself to someone else, and when they have something you don't, and you see yourself as less, that's a very dangerous place to be mentally. And I was so caught up for a long time about being a voice actor, and I need a website. Everyone has a website. I need a place for demos, and I need this, and I need to make it look nice, and who do I call? I was so hung up on that, and it made me take away from recording, from networking with people, to connecting, to having fun. Like, I was just so stressed out about what I didn't have that other famous or popular voice actors had. And a friend of mine kind of slapped my face and slapped me into reality. I asked him, I said, am I going crazy? Like, I'm so caught up on just a website. Like, I feel like I'm missing out on all these jobs because of a website. And he goes, Tyler, he goes, take a deep breath first of all. And he said, you have a SoundCloud, right? And I said, yeah. And SoundCloud is what I use to send my info out because, again, I'm a voice actor. I have voice demos. It has everything I need. I have everything on there. So he said, Tyler, is it working for you? I said, yeah. I said, it's working. It's got me work. It's getting me work. And I'm proud of what I have on there. He said, then that's it. He said, don't worry about anything else. If you love it and it's working for you, stay on your path. He said, stop worrying about what other people want. So when I thought about what he said, it is true. I'm a voice actor. It has my demos on it. It has my bio. It has a link to my LinkedIn. It has a link to my resume. That is my site. Like, if you want to hear what I sound like, I don't need to spend $600, $2,000 on a website for you to click on Tyler Jackson Price and hear my commercial demo. I can send you something. It's me. It's my personality. That's what I want you to hear. So I don't need all the bells and whistles and all the gold and silver and all that. That's not who I am. What I want you to hear is my voice. And if I need that to work with you, if I need all this stuff to work with you, just to work with you without you even hearing my voice, then like we said before, man, it's your loss. But if you hear the true passion of my voice and if you hear what I have to offer, then I want to guarantee that you will want to work with me. And that's what I do. LinkedIn, websites, businesses, people I call. I send them an email. I send them my resume link and my SoundCloud. And I say, this is what I have to offer. This is what I've worked on. This is who I am. I'd love to work with you. I leave it at that. They want to reply back. If they want to work with me, great, amazing, awesome. If they do it later, like a year from now, hey, awesome, I'm still here. I'm still waiting on you. I'm still ready to work. If they say no, it's their loss. And I hope that they come back around and know, hey, I can fit what they said I couldn't. But, social media can make you feel like you're worthless, but you got to be careful. Don't give into it. Again, whatever works for you, works for you. It might not work for someone else. Just because you don't have an $18,000 professional-made demo and you weren't in a booth in LA or New York City doesn't mean you're not a good voice actor. Doesn't mean you can't book something amazing to change your life, to change your family's life. Everyone's paths are different. You might want to spend money on that. You might not. But the voice acting industry has so many outlets and ways to get in that you don't need to always be that way. You can have your own path and still be successful. Just be you, and you will find success. I promise.
No, absolutely. Now we're going over bonus hours, bonus minutes. We finished our time for the episode, but we did promise our viewers that you were going to do some voiceover acting for us.
Yes. Okay. Well, one of my when Barack Obama was president, and even now, I still get booked for like Obama comedy sketches and things like that, and presidential elections and little things like that, like car sales places. But Obama has always been my favorite, my most popular voice. So I'll do that, and I'll do a couple others for you. So here's Barack Obama. Let me be clear. The American people need a plan to move forward. What we need to do is make sure that this is seen across the United States. People unlock their potential and make sure that they can do it. All right, America. Thank you.
Yeah, it's really good.
That was Obama. Let's see. Living in Florida. I get Mickey Mouse. That's a big one. Oh, boy, huh? Hope you enjoyed Disney World. Let's see. I love Joker. I love doing villainous voices. Joker, the cartoon Joker. One of my favorite guys. He just does not care. Oh, Batman, you think you can outsmart the Clown Prince? I don't think so. Let's see.
Well, how about this? Let's have a little fun with it, but let's promote the Keith Andrew Network with it. So, can you do your top 5 favorites, but promote or say anything about the Keith Andrew Network?
Okay, let's see. The Keith Andrew Network is something that can reach millions of viewers, and I hope that people tune in to see what they can achieve in their life. Let's see. Hey, Peter, Keith Andrew Network here. This is Joe from Family Guy. I think it's a pretty cool show. I've seen it a couple times. I got it on TiVo here, and I think it's pretty cool. If you look at it, you'll laugh. You'll have a good time with it. And he's so magical. Oh, boy. Keith Andrew Network.
Yes, and doing this interview here with Keith Andrews, I feel particularly transcribed and pretentious, making words up just so they sound okay. That this is a network here that can take off. I believe that people in this country and in this world need to make sure that they tune in to see the great things Keith has to say and things he can do. Don't let your mind block what you can do.
No, that was really good. I appreciate that.
just being goofy with it. That's it.
Now, I do have a couple questions for you off the air. But wrapping up, how can people follow you on social media? Are you on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook?
Yeah, I use LinkedIn, and that's basically my main one. So if you guys find me on LinkedIn, Tyler Jackson Price, voice actor, I'm on there, and drop me a message. Just say hi. If you want to work together, great. My demos, everything's on there. I love to connect and work with great people and just meet great people. So if the creativity burns inside you, let's get to work. So yeah, and also you can email me at tjpvoiceman87@gmail.com, and SoundCloud TJP Voiceman, Tyler Jackson Price. So yeah, you can find me on there.
No, absolutely. My last question for you, and I want you to be completely honest. When I first messaged you, what was your first reaction? What made you say yes? And how do you feel now? Would you recommend it to other people?
Well, when you messaged me, my first reaction was, yes, I got a message in my inbox. But no, when you messaged me and I read your story and saw what you do, I was instantly drawn into your passion. And again, I love helping people, working with creative people, working with people that just love to help. And I think seeing you inspires me, even as we speak for the first time, knowing that you don't let your things hinder you, and that you're putting yourself out there to show other people that just because something physically or mentally might stop another person, it's not going to stop you. So again, I would say that if you want to hear a great story, or if you want to talk to an amazing person, you guys need to follow Keith Andrew Network and just get in contact with this guy, man. I mean, he is a great person to talk to, very inspirational, very strong, funny, and he wears his passion all over him. So you can definitely see where he comes from, and definitely see the great things that he's doing. So, it's when you messaged me, I was like, hey, this I feel it. This is a guy that I need to get in contact with, not just now, but as a friendship too for the future.
No, I really appreciate that. Now, I do have a couple questions for you off the air. But wrapping up our interview segment, it was a real honor and privilege having you as a guest, and I'm looking forward to part 2 down the road.
Hey, thank you very much. I look forward to it. And again, thank you for having me, and keep doing what you're doing. I love it.